So was there ever a time, before you graduated high school where, because I know I have a daughter now, and way before she gets to graduates high school, I'll talk to her about investing, whether it's stocks, whether it's real estate, whether it's investing in businesses. So it's not like just high level concept, but kind of more. We're getting off into more of the granular stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to talk to her in middle school about like these super granular principles, but definitely before she leaves, she's going to know kind of the ins and outs of stocks and maybe risky investments, index funds, things like that, less risky investments, more risky investments, real estate. I have a kind of cool real estate story as far as kind of my introduction into real estate, which is kind of one of my main investment vehicles. But did your real dad or stepdad ever talk to you on the like more of the particulars about I know you talked about your stepdad having a Charles Schwab account, but did they talk to you more about the particulars of having this investment account as opposed to just kind of seeing it and seeing the value of it and things like that?
So I actually think that more in a traditional way, they taught me about saving
Okay,
versus
gotcha.
active investments, right? Which
Yeah,
I think that that's kind of a cultural experience as well, too, right?
I
Where
agree
you're
with
like,
you.
hey, man, make sure you
Yep,
put it away
yep,
because you never want to not have it. So
yep,
it was kind of more specifically about if you make money, make sure you save money because if
yep,
you blow it all, that will be your biggest issue, right? So
right.
I maybe wish that I got more specific investment advice
Okay.
younger, but I definitely always knew that it existed in a realm, and it was
Right.
kind of like me doing my own research or like at least figuring things out and then asking questions that came later. But I do think it was valuable to be aware of these things early.
And the reason I asked that question is because once you have family, start to have your family, including your own kids and things like that. Would you do anything differently compared to what your dad and stepdad kind of taught you growing up? Would you get more off into the granular things at some point, or would you just keep it high level, or just kind of these life principles of kind of saving money, put it in a way? How would you kind of go about that situation?
I think now that I have those tools in my belt, there's no way I wouldn't pass them on to the next
Right.
generation. Absolutely. So even when I think about, I had friends and colleagues growing up whose parents established lines of credit for them when they were under 10 years old,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then you come and you're in a market where you're trying to have your credit score do something, and you're like, oh, look, I have 25 years of
Yeah.
established credit. Like
That's
that's something that I didn't benefit from growing up.
yeah.
But I do see those things and immediately was like, absolutely, there's no way I wouldn't do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff for my